Welcome to gentle herb living. If you garden in a city, on a balcony, or have a tiny backyard that seems to stubbornly refuse life, this is for you. The Urban Composting Tower is not a fad. It's a practical, space-saving system that turns food waste, yard clippings, and even cardboard into finished, microbe-rich humus and liquid plant feed right where you need it. Over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through a step-by-step approach to a tower that combines rapid decomposition, worm composting, and odor control so you can rebuild soils, revive beds, and feed hungry plants without a sprawling pile or endless turning. Why the tower works where piles fail. Traditional piles need room, turning, and time. The tower is vertical, insulated, and engineered for airflow and drainage, so microbial life stays active even in winter and on balconies. By stacking chambers or using a rotating drum, you concentrate heat and moisture in a small footprint. By adding a worm chamber and a bokashi or anaerobic pre-ferment stage, you accelerate breakdown and keep nuisances away. The tower's design makes it easy to manage carbon to nitrogen balance, control moisture, and collect compost tea, the living liquid fertilizer that brings life back to dead soil fast. Step 1. Choose the right tower design for your space. Pick a model that fits your situation. A compact 3-tier stack of food-safe bins works for balconies. A vertical tumbling drum or commercial rotating composter works for small yards. A buried worm tower, which is basically a large PVC pipe with holes plus a lid, is perfect where ground access exists. Aim for at least 60 to 100 litres of volume per tier for useful throughput, or a 200 to 300 litre drum if you want a single unit solution. Make sure the unit has secure lids, ventilation holes near the top, and a drainage tap or tray at the bottom to collect leachate. Step 2. Build a reliable base and set up drainage and aeration. Place the tower on a stable surface with slight elevation so liquid can run into a catch bucket. Drill small vent holes high on each chamber and install a PVC aeration tube down the center if possible. This central chimney lets oxygen reach the heart of the material without repeated turning. Fit a screw tap at the lowest point to harvest the brown, tea-like leachate. Diluted, that liquid is a powerful foliar or root feed. Insulate the tower in winter with a simple jacket or place it against a warm wall to keep microbes active. Step 3. Layer smartly using the 3-ingredient balance. First, start with a coarse base layer, like twiggy yard clippings or shredded cardboard, to encourage airflow. Then, alternate greens, such as kitchen vegetable scraps, fresh grass clippings, or green prunings, with browns like shredded cardboard, dry leaves, or straw. Aim for roughly 2 parts brown to 1 part green by volume. The key here is balance, not perfection. Add a thin handful of garden soil or finished compost with the first layers to seed those helpful microbes. And, keep pieces small, shred or chop scraps, so decomposition happens faster in the confined tower environment. Step 4. Use bokashi and worms to speed transformation and honestly avoid smells. If you have limited space or want zero smell, start your kitchen waste in a small bokashi fermenter indoors for about a week. The fermented material can then be buried in the tower, where microbes will finish it off quickly. After the initial thermophilic phase cools down, which usually takes a few weeks, introduce red worms, Eisenia fetida, into a dedicated lower chamber to turn the material into worm castings. Worms really accelerate humus creation and keep leachate nutritious rather than foul. Just remember, only add worms once the temperature has stabilized below 30 degrees Celsius to avoid, accidentally killing them. So here we are at step 5, maintaining moisture and keeping a close eye on your tower every week. You want to aim for the consistency of a wrung-out sponge. If the material is too dry, well, the process just stalls. On the flip side, if it's too wet, you end up with anaerobic rot. And trust me, that's not a smell you want. Remember, add water, not urine or sewers, and always balance those wet greens with dry browns. If things start to get anaerobic, just open the vents, and don't forget to pull the tap now and then to check the tea. When you harvest that liquid, dilute it 1 part tea to 20 parts water for feeding transplants, or 1 to 10 for those established beds. Moving on to step 6, harvesting finished humus and using it wisely. You'll notice dark, crumbly humus at the bottom, or in the worm chamber in as little as 8 to 12 weeks with good management. This living material is perfect as a top dress around perennials, mixed into planting holes for new shrubs, or blended as a seedbed dressing. Just a word of caution, never apply partially decomposed material onto seedlings. Let it mature until it smells earthy, not acidic or sour. Step 7 is all about troubleshooting common problems quickly. If your tower starts to smell sour, it's probably too wet or lacking air. In that case, add some shredded cardboard and open those vents. If you notice flies gathering, bury fresh scraps deeper and add more browns. If decomposition seems to stall, check the moisture and add a handful of garden soil or finished compost to reintroduce those vital microbes. And remember, keep meat, dairy and oils out unless you're bokashi pre-processing them. This tower method transforms urban waste into a concentrated, high-value soil resource, providing you with both solid and liquid plant feed that can revive dead beds in a single season when applied thoughtfully. Why not try one small tower? Follow these steps and compare a treated bed to an untreated one next year. You'll notice faster root growth, better water retention, and plants that just shrug off stress. If this guide helped you, consider subscribing to Gentle Herb Living for more practical urban soil solutions. Share it with a neighbor who needs a soil rescue, and drop a comment about the tower design you want to try. Let's reclaim tired ground and grow thriving gardens in every city corner.